Have you ever thought about how many different types of grids there are? Let's see. There's grids that segment the Earth into latitude and longitude, grids for plotting points on some complicated math problem, grids for the spatial indexing of spheres. There's triangle grids, square grids, hexagonal grids, radial grids. Wow, yeah, there's all sorts of grids out there, all to indulge our peculiar habit of bringing structure and order to information. And today we're going to talk about a grid designed to help bring order, structure, and meaningful information to business processes with regard to information technology. The McFarlan Strategic Grid. First, we should probably determine why this grid is so important to business. As technology has become the lifeblood of most businesses, it's important to establish the levels of technology utilized in the company as a whole, as well as how individual projects fall into the scope of the business plan. The McFarlan Strategic Grid is the North Star for IT and business processes and allows businesses to identify how much information technology is currently involved in their business and allows them to build a roadmap to where they want to take IT into the future.
Now let's take a look at the grid itself. The y-axis demonstrates the impact on business operations. The further up the y-axis you go, the more impact IT has on core operations. The x-axis demonstrates the impact of IT applications on company strategy. The further right you go, the higher the impact. Now, let's take a second to determine what each quadrant represents in this grid. The lower left quadrant is typically labeled support and denotes the low utilization and impact of IT on business processes, one where the process is focused on local processes or individual users. Basically, IT is here to help support the company and improve local performance, but does not play a big role in key operations or the strategy of the company.
We already know that traveling up the y-axis indicates that IT applications will have a greater impact on core operations. This is why this quadrant is labeled factory. This indicates that current IT is important as a function of operations, but it's also not going to have strategic value. Also, the company will be heavily dependent on reliable applications and operational support to ensure processes running smoothly. Consistent, dependable performance is essential with this level of IT integration. Because of its system going down, it causes major disruptions. Going back down to the lower right quadrant is where the company is taking IT from a support role to integrating it in its strategy and will become critical to the company's success. The goal here is to initiate new projects and identify new IT teams to lead the ventures. Once a firm moves into this quadrant, they will be more dependent on uninterrupted response time and will need fast, cost-effective functioning from IT applications to achieve the strategic objectives. This quadrant is called turnaround. And finally, the quadrant of all quadrants, where IT plays a crucial role in operations as well as the company's strategy for the future, and thus the quadrant is appropriately named strategic. Coupled with strategic integration and the need for performance, the new IT applications are crucial to progressive competitive success, and as such, can completely transform the organization. Okay, so now we are equipped with the knowledge of what the McFarlan grid is. What good will it do for us? The long and short of it is we need to be aware of all the facets of a company's interactions and integration of IT to determine governance, i.e. how big of a role does the executive group play, the IT group, change management group, emerging technologies group, etc. To help a business decide if it needs to outsource If IT is playing a support role and doesn't contribute to the value of the company, maybe a business will choose to outsource it. And it gives us a way to understand what to expect from IT and how it will affect companies' future.